Well, today we're in Shafter. We're at Sequoia Elementary School, and today we're here to... Well, today we're at Sequoia Elementary School, and with me right now I've got Philip, a fifth grader, and we're going to work on some percents and fractions, okay? So, have you ever taken a test?
Yes.
Yes. And what is the highest you can get on a test?
100%.
100%, right? Have you gotten 100% on every test you've ever taken?
No.
No. So you've probably gotten a very high score, though, I'm sure,
Yes.
right? So what's an example of one of your high scores?
Like 95%.
Like a 95%? Why don't you go ahead and write 95% up over there? Now that 95% means you got a 95 out of what?
100.
Out of 100. Are you familiar with fractions at all?
Yes.
Okay, so how would you write 95 out of 100? Perfect. So what we're doing is we're going to write this 65% as a fraction. You wrote one of your high scores, 95, as a fraction. And we can simplify that, but what we're going to do is we're going to simplify and do the problem right here, this 65%. So how do we write 65% as a fraction?
You put 65 over 100.
Perfect. Go ahead and do that. Now that technically is the answer. You wrote that as a fraction. Pretty simple problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nicely done. But not so fast, young man. We're going to simplify this now. You know how to
Okay.
simplify fractions?
No.
Okay, that's exactly what I wanted us to do. So you're going to think of a number that goes into 65 and 100. What number can you think of goes into 65 and 100?
5.
5. So here's what we're going to do. Let's divide each of these by 5. Okay? I'm going to do one and you do the other one. So I'm going to do this. 100
Okay.
divided by 5 is 20. I did the harder one.
Okay.
All right, so you do 65 divided by 5.
Okay.
And if you need to write it off on the
Okay.
side, you go ahead and do that. So how many times?
13.
Okay. Now, we simplified 65 over 100 to 13 over 20, 13 twentieths. Is there any number that you can think of, other than 1, that will go into 13 and 20?
No.
No, there isn't anyone, right? Because 13 is a prime number, right?
Yeah.
Only 1 and 13 go into it, and 13 doesn't go evenly into 20. So now, Philip, we're finally done. Good work. Today we're at Sequoia Elementary School, and I've got 6th grade student Natalie. How are you today?
Good.
You ready to roll?
Yes.
All right. You've got a lot of stuff going on up here. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what we have to do?
Okay, so we are going to be evaluating the expression.
Right, so we're going to evaluate the expression. Why don't you go ahead and read the expression first of all?
Okay. 2 plus 28 divided by 2 squared.
What about this?
Oh, 9
Yeah.
times.
There you go. So we can't forget about this 9 times. And I put that in there because a lot of times you know, I'm sure as a 6th grader, that if you just have the 9 out there, it means to multiply, right?
Right.
And there's a lot of different ways to represent multiplication. You could do it like this. But also just that dot is the same thing, right? So I just wanted to put that up there for some other students. So we have to evaluate this expression, and there are a variety of ways we could do this, but there's only one correct way. How should we start?
Okay, we should start with the numbers inside the parentheses.
Okay. So go ahead and
So-
grab the marker. And so if we're not going to do anything with the 9, what should we do with it?
We should,
Maybe we can just bring it
yeah,
down?
bring it down.
Okay. And let's open up the parentheses.
Okay. So,
Now, before you go ahead and start, are you familiar with the order of operations? Where you do parentheses first?
oh yes,
After parentheses, then what?
it's exponents.
Exponents. And then,
It's multiplication,
and then,
and then division,
so multiplication, division kind of go together, and then what?
and then addition and subtraction.
Perfect. So parentheses and then exponents.
Right.
So we have parentheses, and we're going to do everything in the parentheses, but first we have to take care of what?
The exponent.
The exponent.
So we're gonna do 2 times 2, and that equals 8.
Well,
So
what's 2 times 2?
4.
Right.
Oh, okay. So
Because you said 2 times 2, and then you said 8, because I think you were saying 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. So 2 squared is 4. So let's go ahead, open a parenthesis right here for me. So the 2, we're not doing anything with right now.
Right.
So we'll just bring that down. The plus 28, we haven't done anything with that.
right. And
The
then
division symbol,
And then the 2 square becomes a 4.
Perfect.
So we're gonna bring it down and put a 4.
and then close that parentheses. Perfect. Because a lot of times students will go 2 plus 28 first, and they'll write 30, and then it'll get all messed up, right? So now we still have our parentheses that we're going to multiply everything by
Right.
9. But inside here, what do we have to do first?
We have to do the division.
Perfect. And what division do we need to do?
We have to do 28 divided by 4,
Very good.
which equals 7.
Good. So how do we write everything down?
So then we make another parentheses and we put a 2 plus 7.
There we go. It's just easy to remember to keep bringing it down. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we might just forget about it. Now what?
So now we get to do the addition. So we do 7 plus 2 is 9.
Okay.
And then we have the 9 outside the parentheses again. And then now we can multiply those two.
Okay.
So 9 times 9 equals 81.
All right, so go ahead and write that final answer. Natalie, perfectly done. Nice work.
Thank you.